Welcome, sports fans. Welcome back to another very special episode of Studio Talks. I'm your host, the most, Joe Mar.
I'm Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting, and everything sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet.
Yes, people, before we get into today's episode of Studio Talk, don't forget to like this video. Leave a comment under the video and subscribe to This or That Sports TV. One more thing first, though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers I'll get us by the end of the day?
Yes. People, walk go on. And if you talk to the people, you know, probably have a live soon. Want to talk to the people, because I like what them talk to, you know. But bro, what's going on? What's going on? How the vibe?
You say you want to talk to the people. Make sure the people want to talk to you.
People always want to talk to me, bro. Always.
If you say so.
I check up on my bro. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, man, you know, so there, I take a rough life easy. You know them way? Out there, the same way.
Yeah, we've seen better days.
Well, if I better day was still, but I'm not going to see worse, though. But
I don't lie. People, we have a patch show. It's a big month for the Jamaica Football Federation.
Huge.
The REGGAE girls have their tournament coming up. The under-17, the CONCACAF under-17 men's championship coming up. We have 2 friendlies against Trinidad coming up. You know, so a big month. And we're here to talk about a few other things. Obviously, we have multiple shows to get it done. But yeah, let's talk about our under-17 for a second, people. That's what we're talking about today. And we will get right into it after this. Alright, welcome back to Studio Talk. People, we're going to talk about the under-17 REGGAE boys. And before we get into the squad was released, but before we speak about the squad and how we feel about it, let's talk about the preparation. The REGGAE boys, they have been in camp, they've been in training for a couple of weeks, over a month. How do you feel about the preparation going into the championship? You think this is sufficient, or you think we should have done a bit more?
There's a fundamental problem with youth football in Jamaica where the continuity is not very good. You know, so we have breaks in between squads and there's no transitioning period. I think what should happen is a pipeline of youth football straight through where the youth teams stay together and grow together, almost as if it's an academy system within football. So that's not there. So our preparations are going to always be less than it could have been, considering that the boys are constantly playing together, you know, from 12 all the way up to 20 years old. However, in comparison to years past or in comparison to other age group competitions that we have played, I would say that the time before the competition was way more than we'd see in the past. So I think because of this type of preparation, maybe it can yield better rewards. But I think there's a fundamental flaw with how we prepare youth teams. It should be continuity should be the main priority, rather than just getting a group of boys for a specific competition and then putting that team out. It should be a team that has been coming from 13s to 15s to 17s, and that's what we lack. And other nations, especially in CONCACAF, that's what they do. You know, they keep the youth teams together. And Jamaica don't do that. But considering that that has never been the case, I think camping from December, I think it might be enough time. Just might, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, bro, a lot of people will probably say, "Oh, we know that's what they did, and they didn't have the pipe. If they didn't have the pipeline." I was listening to the press conference that the JFF had where MERRON Garden and Vassal spoke, and you could tell that they didn't have a pipeline, they didn't have sufficient preparation. Because one of the things that he spoke about was that earlier why he called the big squad is because he wanted to see what he was working with. He didn't know the system that he was going to play yet. And then after he saw the players, then he was going to decide what system he's going to play or how best to utilize the players. Which that alone, a month or 2 away from the competition, it's craziness. That's madness. Like if you don't know the system that you want to play 2 months away from the competition, that's not the right foot to start on. You know, so that tells us that we don't have a pipeline system, that we don't have one system that Jamaica wants to play across all age groups. We don't have that. And I believe that in order to have real success at most of the age groups or to go further in all of these competitions, we need to know how we're playing. And from that press conference, I can tell you, Jamaica does not have a style of play right now. Could you pick that up from the press conference?
Yeah, and I think not only from the press conference, but we can pick that up based on the history of Jamaican football and based on the history of youth football. You know, there are various variations of where the teams play at different age groups, and you know, as I said, you know, we gather the best group of boys at the time, and we put them out on the field, and after the age group competition is done, then we won't hear from these boys again until the next age group competition. We'll just gather a completely different group of boys and put them together. So I think there is a fundamental issue with how we are selecting these teams, and I think it's what has costed us so much at age group level because man for man, player for player, I think Jamaica has some of the best youth footballers in the whole entire region, if not the whole entire world. But preparation always beats us. As I said, 1.5 months of preparation is not sufficient, but it's more than what we've seen before. So let's see how that works.
Yeah, it's more than what we've seen before. We're a bit more familiar with these players. We're a bit more familiar with the coach. You know, we've seen the coach, even at the senior level. He's been there, he's been on the bench. You know, he has a relationship with the senior setup. So I think he would know what, you know, the head coach wants. He would know because I understand that there's a direct relationship between the senior team and this specific coach. You know, even though there's a change of the guard right now, he should understand what is required. You know, he has a big role, you know, right now in youth football in terms of he is the technical director at Gavin Marseille, so he's big on youth. This job, I guess the verdict will be out in a few in terms of we will review his performance and then say if he was the man for the job. Right now, I think we're still going on promise again. Where, you know, we had an interview with Mr. Rudolph Speed and he said that, you know, Coach Marcel Gale was the last time that they would have gone and promised enough a performance. But I can tell you that I feel like disappointment. I feel like this Coach MERRON Garden taking charge at under 15s again, the under 17s again, is a bit of promise. What do you feel about that claim?
As I said, that's all it is right now. You know, we don't know, the coach doesn't know the boys are unique. These aren't boys that he's been seeing from however long. And as compared to, even though, like say Messi was playing in Spain, from a pre-team, you know, he'd be a part of every single Argentina age group competition, you know, so those boys would have been familiar by the time they reach under 20, you know, when they're winning that World Cup. Those boys would have all, you know, already played together, the Di Marias and the Agueros and so on and so forth, because they would have, they're all over the world. They would have come back together and play in various different age group competitions. As compared to this team, how many of these boys, you know, would have played together at the 15s? You know, where's the continuity for this team? And how many of these boys will be together at the 20s? And how many boys from the 20s would have been available for their 17s at that point in time? We just gather a group of like 50 man and just like try and make something out of it. And that's not how you do well in youth football, and that's not how you transition well to senior football. You get me? So we see the English team that we say Balogun, Jadon Sancho, Callum Hudson-Odoi, like all of those guys in those, they've all played together. From under 17s, they have all played together. So when them finally get a chance to meet up back in the under 20s, it's going to be like clockwork. And that's why a team like that will always, you know, have constant continuity. They'll always continue to do well throughout all age groups as compared to us. Like there's no continuity with our age group football.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, oh, stop comparing Jamaica football or CONCACAF football to Europe. And if we talk about the powerhouses,
yeah,
exactly. Even if we talk about the powerhouses in CONCACAF, we talk about Canada, Mexico, and USA. These are teams that have their pipeline, and especially America. And I feel like they are using the blueprint to a T.
Speak about Honduras and Panama.
They are coming.
Costa Rica. Those teams are teams that have their boys playing together from the youth level go straight back up. As I said, in terms of talent and physical ability, Jamaica is one of, if not the most gifted countries in the region, considering that we only have a population of, let's say locally 3 million and diasporically about just over 10 million, I'd say.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, we are as talented as anyone else, which is the only reason why we're able to compete with them, even though other countries are run better and prepared better than us. You know, we see the Panamanian team, they've been playing together since boys. I know they're phasing out, and then they have a new set of boys coming up through the system. You know, a new set of young kids. The same with Costa Rica. It's the same with USA, where we see all of these players they play together under 17 World Cup and they slowly transition into the senior teams. There's so many senior players that we have now that would not have been capped at the youth levels.
Yeah.
And you look at that in any other international team, and that's not the case. If you go through all the other international teams, you're going to see that their top players would have numerous caps at the unders level. So, in terms of preparation and the lack of a pipeline, that's something that needs to be implemented. And I think the reason that this is an issue, and we must blame the technical director. That's Wendell Downswell. Like, I don't think there's proper footballing infrastructure, from as I said, a fundamental standpoint that has been implemented into this program. Which is why I think our head coach, Al Grimson, should be the one in charge of football at all levels right now. I'm ready right now to just have Wendell Downswell be the assistant technical director of that team in position and have Al Grimson have his hands on everything football in Jamaica while maintaining the senior team head coaching position. And I think that's the only way that we will see a change in Jamaican football.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying for sure. And even if he's not the technical director, there must be a strong relationship with Coach Al Grimson and Mr. Downswell. There needs to be a relationship where Coach Al Grimson is leading the charge, though, in terms of the direction of football. Even though you're the technical director, you have to understand that he's at a higher level than you. His know-how is way more than yours, but he already has a whole national team to run. And running the senior reggae boys is not an easy task. So I understand if he's going to just run that. But in terms of the direction that the country wants to go in, Coach Al Grimson needs to be the man. Now, people, we're actually live, by the way. So when later on in the show, we're going to look at the last two under-17 teams, how far those guys are, and we're going to compare it and see how many of them make it into the senior setup. But before we do that, let's talk about this team that will be taking on the CONCACAF championship in February. Let's talk about the team. It was recently released. So we can stop at the players who we want to talk about and then browse through the rest. So we have Tywayne Lynch from Mount Pleasant. He is the keeper. From listening to that press conference, I can tell they have high expectations from him.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of practice matches where he's been done in the captain armband. He plays at a higher level in relation to the rest of these players, considering that he's a part of the Mount Pleasant team, not necessarily the academy per se. He's one of the goalkeepers for the Mount Pleasant club team, so that just shows his class and at such a young age, his ability to keep with. I'm telling you, as a goalkeeper, age really, like when they say a young goalkeeper really stand out, it's impressive. That shows that physically you're mature faster than everybody else, mentally and emotionally you're also more mature than everybody else, because it's different. And I can tell you, for me, it was different having grown boys kick the ball to me at 15 years old as compared to at 19 years old. Mm-hmm. And even at 21 years old. There's a difference. So to be able to play at a senior level at 17 years old, that's very incredible, and he has the physical structure for it. He's a big dude, he's obviously a very good goalkeeper, and he's technically gifted at his feet as well. So I'm definitely expecting good things from this goalkeeper going forward into this competition and going forward into our future for sure.
Yeah, Joshua Grant is the second goalkeeper. He is currently at Inter Miami. Their youth set up and expecting big things from him also. Probably this is not the competition to see it. What we can tell you that he's definitely a more than competent backup at the moment. Yeah. He plays at a high level. I'm pretty sure if Tywayne Lynch was got that opportunity, he would probably be at a similar level, if not higher. Sure. So I'm not bothered with Lynch being the starting keeper, but Grant, I'm actually impressed that we managed to incorporate a lot of our overseas based players. So I like that.
Grant is 15 years old.
Yeah. So he's
a young goalkeeper, still very good, but he's a young goalkeeper.
Yeah, and important to note, he was called up in the US setup at I think the under 15 level. Under 15 level before, and that is important. Is this a case where we put one of America's talent, or is it just a case where he was the fourth best and we managed to get him? And even if that's the case, I don't have a problem with that.
No, like I said, he's Jamaican at the end of the day, and if you want to come out, I've seen some pictures of him with other players And they seem to be gelling very well. You know, he seems to be very well incorporated with the team. You know, we see him there on the chairs, laying on the players, you know, in his Jamaica outfit, listening to the same dancehall music, doing the same hand gestures that you'd associate with Jamaica and so on and so forth. You can see that he's very ingratiated with his Jamaican culture and heritage. And he seems very happy to be a part of this team. And I am very excited to see what next from Joshua Grant.
Here we go. Let's talk about the defenders for a second. I heard Dixon from Mount Pleasant, Alexavier Gooden from. So I'm just going to run through them and then we just pick up where we want to speak about. Who want to speak about? Alexavier Gooden of Stats, Malik Robinson of Garvey Maceo, Adrian Reed of St. George's College, Malachi Molina of FC Dallas, Nashawn Barrett of Clarendon College, and Brandon Bent of Inter Miami. I've heard some good things about a couple of these players. Molina was a player that I've been hearing about. They speak highly of him. Obviously, Alexavier Gooden is someone we are familiar with, and he's a top player, especially at this level. How do you feel about our defensive line?
Well, as I said, considering that this is under 17 and the majority of these players would have not been prior exposed to, you know, until this point, still working on promise, still working on potential, as you alluded to earlier in the segment. However, there are definitely some good players, you know, to be incorporated in the academy system in America. You have to have some sort of talent here. And to know that we're able to incorporate those types of talent into our program, it's very promising. You know, I'm very excited about it. Alexavier Gooden is somebody that we're definitely looking forward to, somebody that we're definitely expecting big things from. As I said, can't complain. What do you have to say?
An interesting thing about this defensive line, I'm seeing Adrian Reed listed as a defender. Yeah. And I even picked up in the press conference that they did, Mr. Vasily was speaking about the players and giving really some in-depth analysis of the players and the way they play. He spoke about Adrian Reed as a utility player, saying that he can do well in the midfield and he can play across the back line, which is something good. You know, he's a big player. He plays ahead of his years. He's one of those players that will give them an experience head, you know, in that field. I'm expecting him to be one of the starters, in fact. You know, he's one of the better players on the squad. So it's interesting that he's listed as a defender, and that tells me a lot about our midfield line. If Adrian Reed is listed as a defender, our midfielders must be better than him.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm expecting our midfield line to do well.
Adrian Reed definitely at St. George's stand out, being one of the youngest players ever to play in the Jamaica Premier League for his club, Cavaliers. I was surprised as well when I saw him listed as a defender. I was like, interesting, because I swear to you I've seen Adrian Reed play in the forward line for George's at time to time. You know, but very, very dominative midfielder, somebody who gets a lot of touches on the ball, somebody who's very skilled. Can't imagine how good he'd be at centre half, if that's the position that he's playing, considering his ball control and his size and his knowledge of the game. Curious to see how he's incorporated, but beside that, Sports TV will be at a few under 17 games to give you this very, very soon.
Yes, I mean, we'll be, you know, having shows around the competition itself. We'll be on here every day. Midfield line: Ronaldo Barrett of Heidelberg, Jason White of Glenmuir, Jordan Mangatal, another player that they speak about highly, South Florida FA, Everard Swaby of Garvey Maceo, Dustin Cohen of Denby High, Dylan John of Jamaica College. Midfield line, not familiar with the overseas based players. I can only go off what I hear about them and how highly they're touted. And from what I'm hearing, Mangatal is the one to look out for. Swaby from Jamaica is Garvey Maceo is one that I hear they speak highly of. I'm familiar with Dylan John. Very technical player, and I'd like to see him in the midfield, but I just want to see the best midfield on the day. If you are a bit more familiar than me, speak about this midfield for a second.
As I said, it's the same, you know, besides the players that would have played their chip. Them say Carla, Jaja.
Carla Bridging. And seen the milk, daddy.
But besides of the players that we'd already been familiar with and that played in the Manning Cup, you know, I would not know much about these players, not the Rochester Cup players, not the international based players. As I said, in the MLS academy system and the USA academy system generally, it's not necessarily as publicized, so there's not much to know about these players. The only thing I can go off is that their ability to make it into academy football in America is pretty competitive. These are some of the top clubs in America that we see these players representing, so you can only expect good things. And because there are so many good players, you know, you think about REGGAE Thomas, who would not have been included, you know.
REGGAE Taylor.
REGGAE Taylor, my apologies. Kimali Reese, so on and so forth, who would have been been matched out of the squad. And I'm not sure the Gibbs, I think, was involved in this whole mix-up, so on and so forth. And these players did not make it. And these are like outstanding money cup players. So imagine the level of quality that must have been brought to the team by these players.
Yeah, I was at least expecting to see Nashada Gibbs because even at the last practice game before the squad was released, he was playing. You know, so surprising. At the forward line, we have Orion Watson of Glenmuir, Jamani Bell of Woolmer's BOYZ, Nicholas Simmons, Adrian Mahoney, and Ashton Garden. They speak highly of Ashton Garden. As I said, I can only go off what they say. They speak highly of him. Jamani Bell is one that we're familiar with, and you know, Mr. Vasquez even spoke about him playing at the forward position, you know, playing center forward. You know, preferably I would like to have him playing off the forward. But if he's the forward man, I don't mind it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what you said a while ago is something that I really want us to speak about for a second. The players that we know that play in the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup, that we know and we can vouch for as good players, being a Roger Taylor or Ashard Gibbs, or even say a Dante Peralta or whoever, players that got cut, that we know are solid players at this level. They didn't make it into this squad. And if they make it into this squad, if they didn't make it into this squad, and we are going to just assume that it's a due process, everything went the way it was supposed to go, there was no corruption and all of that. These players must be better than them.
Yeah.
And if we know how good those players are, I'm excited for this squad. Just on that alone. Just on thinking about the players that missed out, I'm excited. Now, played a couple practice games, albeit against grown men. So the result was not the thing that you were looking at. It's more so the performance. And from what I'm hearing, the performance was decent, and coming up against their age group, we should expect something good. Maybe we can do well and make it to the World Cup despite you know, having a short preparation. On that point though, some of those players missing out, and we know that they're top players in Jamaica. How do you feel about that? Does that give you any more optimism about this squad?
Yeah. That's all it brings me. It brings me optimism. It's not like time passed where I'd probably jump to nepotism and corruption. With new JFF, you know, I tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. And optimism is the adjective that I would use to describe how I feel towards these players being omitted. And it's very oxymoronic because, some good players are left out. Why would that make you optimistic? Because just imagine the players that were selected over them. Now,
obviously, we're assuming that the process, you know, of selection was just. And if it was just, my oh good are these players. If Adrian is a defender.
I'm not sure the Gibbs did not make the cut. Somebody who is a double-figure Manning Cup goal scorer.
That's what I'm saying. I know that we're doing the show, but I see a couple comments coming in. Almar Duffus asking about Kimani Reese. Why didn't he make it from Kingston College? The man they come from KC. He's a good player, but again, he didn't make it, and he's a 16-year-old. And we know how good he is for a top school in the Manning Cup, one of the best schools in schoolboy football. And he couldn't make this squad. So how good are these defenders? Obviously, they're from overseas. But they're from overseas, and even the ones from Jamaica that made it ahead of him. How good are these players, people? I feel like this should give us some optimism. And this should make us expect. Obviously, more goes into football, you know, in terms of more than their technical ability. We need to have a system. We need to know how we want to play. We need to take advantage of the other team's weakness and try to, you know, impose our strengths on them. But just on talent alone, I'm excited for this squad. Obviously, the coach people is MERRON Garden. Again, the appointment I believe is on promise, but people, we are going to, you know, give him the benefit of the doubt and judge him after the competition. Caribbean was Kimani Reese, which couldn't play for Kingston College. Why we never play against the All Manning and All Acosta team should have been quality team. I feel like that would have been a good test for this team.
That would have been a good friendly.
Yeah, but I don't think they played against the All Manning team. But good shout, coach. Also said, give us a lift of players that did not make the cut. We call some of the names already. The Denzel Washington McKenzie, the Dante Peralta, the Kimani Reese, the Nashard. A lot of players that we expected to be in this squad.
Yeah.
They're just not there. And if you wanted to know, JFF released a 50-man squad, you know, that they initially called. So you can just tell from the players that were called, who didn't make the cut. One more thing we're going to talk about before we move on to, the other part of the show. Try to get the graphic up. Yeah. So it is said that we had a provisional squad of around, how much was it? 32?
Yeah.
It was 32 players. And now we're at 20. Now the issue, because a lot of people are saying 2 weeks away from the competition, why are we still having 32 players? Why are you going to name your 20 on the deadline? And this is because a lot of the players that we wanted to get in, they are obviously quality and they have made the squad.
Yeah, so they're a part of the provisional.
Right. But their paperwork, that is still, pending. And maybe their parents would have to get their passport first. And we've heard this situation over and over again, even at the senior level. But that's the case. How do you feel about this, man? And if they're so far removed from the country where it's so hard to prove that they're Jamaican, where you make of this? Should we be going, certain heights to get them if it's this hard to get them?
First of all, disappointed. These boys wanted to play for the country. One of these boys are professional. Playing at the championship level. Disappointing, because imagine the injection of talent that this would bring. And yes, they shouldn't go into the heights to get them. As long as they are eligible, they believe that they're eligible, and we should try or endeavor best to do everything we can in our power to get them to play for us. I don't think there's any extent that is too far to go to, in attempting to get players who want to represent the country. So to that point, I don't believe that we're going too far. It's just unfortunate that some of these people would have left Jamaica, would have left without documentation. Some of them may not even have been documented from in Jamaica itself. I understand how it got 30, 40 years ago. The winter situation where education wasn't as prevalent, registration of people wasn't as prevalent in that time, and it just is what it is, So it's unfortunate that some of these players, their grandparents who are the ties to Jamaica, know that they're Jamaican, but can't prove that they're Jamaican, and because of this FIFA who allow these players to play for us. It's unfortunate, and that's all it is, but I don't think there's an extent too high. We've gone too far, I think, in fact, we've not gone far enough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's gutting, man, because I was expecting to see, especially pro player, I was expecting to see some of the top players, and in fact, it will be more than 7. We have 7 overseas-based players in the squad right now, and we're going to speak about that at the back end.
About 10.
It would be around 10. It would be somewhere there. But someone asked about who are some of the players that missed out. Speaking about Carlton Brown, who's a solid defender, as somebody else who we expecting to make the cut. But if the quality is just higher than that, that's what it is. People, on the second segment in the show, we're going to look back at the last 2 under-17 teams. Do a bit of where are they now, shout out to Simon Preston, and how well are they transitioning, and what do we need to do to keep this crop of players together and making that transition to the 20s and the senior team. We're going to talk about it in the next segment of Studio Talk. Stay tuned, people. We'll continue after this. All right. Real quick, people, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. This is that Sports TV. This is our show. This is Studio Talk. This is where we come and we just speak about the relevant topics in Jamaican football. And right now, it's all about the under-17. We have a big month, people. And the next show will be about the girls, obviously. We have the girls, the tournament coming up, the mini tournament in Australia. And we will be talking about the girls soon, but it's all about the under-17 reggae boys. So if you're enjoying the show and you're getting some insight, talk to us in the comment section, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and like the video, get it out there. So what I want to do right now, give me a second, let's get up on the screen. We're going to talk about the last 2 under-17 squads and what's going on with those players and why do we see this happening. So I kind of want you guys to talk to me while we're doing this one. So this is a 2019. In fact, let's do 2017. This is a 2017 under-17 squad that Jamaica sent to the championship. And we're going to speak about it for a second. So this was a 20-man squad. Daniel Russell, Kendall Edwards, Damani Osei, Jeremy Verley, who was a top prospect, Jamal Tope, Akeem Mullings, Kaim Paris, Kobe Atkinson, Rowan Senior, Renato Campbell, Jermaine Lyons, Kimani Gibbons, Tajay Griffiths, Nicky Daly, Richard Thompson, Blake White, Kasim Priestley, Ricardo McIntosh, Calvin Allen, and Shane Ricketts. Now, this is the squad, people. Let's get it up on the screen real quick so you guys can see what is going on. This is the squad. I can tell you just off the top of my head, just from looking at this. The player that, is at the highest level is Kaim Paris, obviously. He's played in the senior team. He is, in Dynamo right now, and he's playing at a very high level. Now, a lot of these players, I can tell you right now, they are either playing in the JPL, they are not playing football anymore. I can tell you some of them even get locked up. But we're not going to that. Not playing football anymore, or they're in college in America about to graduate. So, what happened between this under-17 competition and right now to cause these players to not be, playing at a higher level? Why are most of these players playing in the JPL? I want you guys to talk to me. What is happening? Why? What is happening? Up and running say, we the fans are not happy with the results from the failed qualification over the years, and MERRON has to deliver us to this tournament. If not, we will be calling for him to be sacked. And we spoke about this earlier, I mentioned that we had Mr. Speed on the channel a couple months ago. And he said that they went into the under-20 competition in the summer on promise. They expected Coach Gill to do well, and a lot of the players, they are expecting good from them. It's not that they have a track record and they know what they're getting. So I feel like even with this under-17 competition, even though Mr. Speed said that they will not go on promise anymore, I feel like we are still going on promise with MERRON Garden. Now, MERRON Garden is a man that, he knows his football. He's involved with the schoolboy football and with the youth in Jamaica. So, not an awful acquisition. It's not an awful appointment. But at the same time, if we had gone with someone that is more proven, someone who right now is doing it at the highest level, I feel like that would be a better appointment. Obviously, we are going to judge Coach Garden after the competition. But right now, as we speak, I feel like we're still going on promise, and I feel like we're still, expecting much from Coach Garden. Welcome back, my brother. Someone asked a while ago, in fact, someone said a while ago that they're not happy with, the field qualifications over the years, and if Coach Garden don't manage to get us to the next level, he will be sacked. Being sacked is I will be surprised. In fact, Coach Gill didn't get us to the competition, to the World Cup, and he's no longer the under-20 coach. So I feel like this is not even a long-term appointment. It's just take charge of this competition, see what you do, and if you do well, then you continue. I feel like that's what it is. What you have to say about that, bro? If Coach Garden failed to get us to this level, what you have to say after the competition?
It depends on what he does. If Jamaica are absolutely outclassed and a team can come out with the likes of Josh Sargent and a Christian Pulisic and so on. I remember that USA team, that same under-20 team, that same under-17 team that you were looking at. If I'm not mistaken, I think Josh Sargent scored a hat-trick on us. Josh Sargent is a professional footballer making thousands of dollars a week. You get me? I say? So if that's the level that we go out on, and that's how we fail ultimately, can't be mad at that.
Vibes Addict say, we wish Hall had this job. Is this the Paul Hall job? Is this the one that we would be excited to see? And I feel like he has a point right there. I feel like that's a very valid point.
That's what Paul Hall does for a profession, coaches youth teams, right? But as I said, so if we go on the field and the players just absolutely outclassed, then we can't blame that on MERRON Garden. Give him a chance to work with some good talent, give him a chance to get some time. But if we go out there and we see a replication of what we saw last summer, where we did have the talent, where we did possess the ability, where we did possess the quality to go forward and to qualify for that World Cup, and did not because the coaching was backward. The football was lateral, and we never attempt for playing the type of football. There was no system in that whole situation. Then MERRON Garden has to go. But if it's a case where USA and Mexico comes out with some future stars that will absolutely boss the game of football in 3 years, or right now. Because I said that team had that USA. If you go for that USA team, you see how many pros that team had right now.
In fact, I think I can check the team right now. Give me a
Yeah.
second. Here's USA. Yeah, Josh Sargent, number 9. Timothy Weah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some top players.
Exactly. So that's that. I remember just Sergeant just continuously scoring goals against us, and it was a bit embarrassing. But we our performance wasn't terrible in that competition,
No, and
But
to be fair, bro, to
we
be
have
fair,
talented
hold
players.
on. Don't come with Andrew Edwards was the coach that time. I think he's now the technical director at Kingston College. Um, give us some props, bro. We have one player that right now is a solid pro in Europe, Kaim Paris.
Yeah, and as I said,
So we got one out there.
and Jamaica was I remember the
Was in the
tallest person on
USL.
the team. He was playing, he was defending right there, and then as I said, this had this team been more prepared, that team that we're looking at right now,
Yeah,
that team would have gone to the World Cup.
yeah.
Barring the USA team that really gave us hell. We gave every other team, a run for their money. Barring that star-studded USA team, as you guys can say. I remember that competition.
Yeah,
So that's just the situation. So if it's a case where we're going absolutely outclass and USA have some serious talent, like Slonina barely missed out on this competition. You get me? I say he's a
yeah.
Chelsea player. He's a starting goalkeeper at Chicago Fire. He barely missed out on the competition. So it just shows that USA has some serious talent at youth levels because of the continuity, because of the pipeline. If that's the case, we can't blame the coach. But if it's a case where the man them go out and them just not playing a ball, got to go.
Yeah, and USA, they were in our group this year. We would not face USA right now until at least say the semifinals. Or
Yeah.
at least till the quarterfinals. Maybe the quarterfinals, but more so the semifinals. So, right now, top 3 from the group goes to. Come on, Jamaica. Let's go. Another player from this list again. This was the 2017 team. Um, some of the players I can make out. Nicky Daly, he had a stint in the USL. He's now back playing for Mount Pleasant in the JPL.
Yeah.
So we see players making the step and getting the chance. A few of them getting the chance, and then just regressing right back to playing football in Jamaica. And that kind of tells us because he got a 4-year deal right out of schoolboy football. He got a 4-year deal in the USL, and maybe USL is not the right step for our players now, bro, because we see a lot of them going to the USL, not working out, and then bouncing around the JPL and not quite making the next step. So we need to have a conversation about that USL and the level that USL is. But yeah, a couple of other players, Kasim Priestley is now playing at Harbour View. A couple of other players playing at Harbour View, Mount Pleasant. So most of the players, I can say 80% of the players on this list are playing. They are playing in the JPL right now. And then we have another couple of players that are still in college. And then we have another few that are in the JPL, 1 or 2. So yeah, that's that 2017 team. What do you have to say about this 2017 team? People tell us in the comment section. We can take a look at the 2019 team real quick, which a lot of people will be a bit more familiar with. Let's do it. All right, here we go. All right, so let's run through the team real quick. We have Daniel Russell, Kendall Edwards. No, I feel like I'm still. Here we go. So we have Zamoy Nash, Lamonte Chester, Prince Christie, Damian Jones, Scott McLeod, Kenroy Campbell, Dwayne Atkinson, Gregory Cousins, Orrit Main, Jamon Shepherd, Rivaldo Mitchell, Krista J. Daly, Hassani Barnes, Isaac Scott, Giovanni Mitu, Roger White, Kenroy Stoddart, DeAndre Miller, Tajay Grant, and Shamar Afaden. And looking at this list again, I can tell you some of these players are playing in the JPL, some of them at college, and none of these players right now, even though they are probably, what you give them, 19, 20 right now, bro, these players, some of them 21. I can tell you that none of them are pro right now. None of them sign a professional contract in Europe. None of them playing pro in America.
The first thing to notice about this team is there's only one player that would have played in the recent under 20s. And that goes to my point about continuity.
One player,
Yeah,
and that's Rochester.
yeah. That goes to my point that goes to my point about continuity. Every year the man just get up a bunch of man and say make a pick from this. There's no pipeline. And that's the problem that is affecting our age group football and in the grand scheme affecting our senior team football.
And you're afraid that we're doing it again.
Huh?
And you're afraid that we're doing it again.
We're definitely doing it again. You know, obviously the last under 15 competition would not have gone down because of COVID. So that kind of, you know, skewed my point a bit in my favor. However, it's something that we see happen time and time again where we see them get up a bunch of people and nobody makes it to the next level. I'm not even talking about the senior level. Nobody makes it to the next age group level. And
Yeah, because how is it that you have the best under 17 Jamaican players, right? And then
2 years
2
time.
years later, just 2 years later, none of them, or only one of them, is among only one of them is among the top 20 in the country, or the top 20 Jamaicans. That is crazy. If only one player from your under 17 squad 2 years later can make your under 20 squad, a madness, Bridget. Because I understand that players will pop up.
Yeah,
Other players will
I'm
start
not
to
saying it should
dominate.
be the full 20. But oh God, they can't find 10.
No, bro, that's crazy. That's
There's a
crazy.
problem right there.
And even the under 20 before that, the Javian Brown year and the Malik Howell and the that year still had a little bit of players from the 2017 squad, bro.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at it. You have a point, man. I will need to do a better job at creating a pipeline. Obviously, as I said, it's not going to be 20 for 20. 20 are the 20 best under 17 players. They are not going to all transition to under 17 are not all going to transition to under 20, and a lot of them are not all going to transition to the senior team. In fact, we look at this right now, only one player in the last, from 2017, so that's 3 and 3. From the last 6 years, only one player that represents Jamaica at the youth level made it, and no, represent Jamaica at the under 17 level, made it to the senior team, and that's Kai in Paris. That's crazy. How can we push one player from under 17 2017 to a senior cap? Something wrong there, sir. And we feel like we have to revisit the board and reshuffle the whole thing. Because looking at me, I look over the list again, and I think Karim Price is the only one that got a call up in those 6 years.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Maki a part of that team as well?
Maggie? No, that was an under 20 year.
Him the player Paris under 20.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, no, Jamai Topi is another one, so that's 2.
Yeah.
Jamai Topi got called up. Who else got called up? I'm not sure if Nicky Daly ever get a senior call up. I don't think so.
So this is the problem that I've identified, and that's the thing that I have the biggest issue with.
I'm busy Atkinson got a call up by the way.
So as I said, in this recent under 20 team, it was a relatively young under 20 team.
Yeah.
You know, so we have the likes of Alexander Bicknell and Romain Blake and Canary Boys Clark, who will have a next shot again to qualify for the under 20 World Cup in 2 years. Right? Dijon Richards is there as well in that type of situation, so on and so forth. So we do have players who have age to play again. Our next under 20 team should be a culmination of this under 17 team and those players that could have remained from the next under 20 team. I was watching a video with Teddy Lee, and Teddy Lee.
From what? This under 17?
Yeah, for the next under 20.
You know, I said that to Mr. Speed, and I was on a live with Ryan the other day, and I said it to him. I say, I'm madness, me at all.
So
him say what we should be looking at right now is not the 17-year-olds, but rather the 18-year-olds that will still qualify to the under 20, because they will be more important. He gave me the whole breakdown of the most successful team and the average age and blah 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 blah. But I feel like right now this under 17 team should at least have say 8, 9.
What am I talking about? What?
I'm telling you, bro.
Like for example, Twain Lynch. The next under 20 is going to be 19. That's going to be senior that's going to be his last under 20 year. He's going to be 19. You get me? I said.
So what I said was that the core of that team.
Alexavier Gooden is going to be 19. Alexavier Gooden is turning 17 this year. 2023. So in 2 years' time, Alex Xavier Wood is going to be at 19 years old. So what is he talking about?
Because I guess his beef with
Romain
what I
Blake
said was that
17.
the
Romain
core.
Blake played under 20 when he just turned 17.
Yeah.
Romain Blake will be available again. BOYZ Clark will be available again. Bicknell will be available again. A few of them. But the vast majority of them is supposed to be groomed from right here and right now.
That's what I think. That's what I think because I said the core must come from the under 20, this under 17 team. The core must come, and he's saying that it's not necessarily these 17-year-olds that we're looking at, but rather the 18-year, the ones that just missed out on this competition. So the 18-year-old that will be 20 or 19 that barely qualified in the under 20 bracket. Those are the ones that will take us to success. Which okay, you will have those players, but I'm talking about the core. The core must come from this under 17.
He's speaking about players who barely missed out. Think about it. He's speaking about players who barely missed out. And then speak about Romain Blake and Bicknell, who are both 17.
Who will make it anyway, and they will be...
They did not miss out, you know. They made the team.
Yeah.
Those are the guys who would have been in the age group that you'd have been saying barely missed out.
Yes, so they didn't barely miss out on anything. They're REGGAE boys. They will qualify for the next competition.
Because even though they were still young, Romain Blake was still one of the best defenders, even though he could have waited a few more years. But it's just unfortunate that Romain Blake was a bit too old, just slightly a bit too old.
Whisper is on.
Yeah, Deshaun Richards is also somebody that would have been barely old enough, barely too old to not play under 17. The same with Blake. Them just missed under 17 by months. You get me? I say, and in 2 years they'll be 19. So of course you have to look for the players who can play again. As I said, BOYZ Clark have the age. Bicknell and Romain Blake, so on and so forth. A few of them have the age again. In addition to somebody like Gooden and Lynch, in hopefully that time should be pushing BOYZ Clark for his game. You get me? I say, and so on and so forth. I saw Teddy Lee. Teddy Lee was doing a video. Let me see if I can find it.
Who also miss out on this? Devante Hodges. Or who is 17 years old, how old is Akim Bernard? Is he 17?
Akim Bernard is going to be 18 this year. He may or may not be eligible for the next under 20. Depends upon him month. Not sure, probably won't be.
Yeah, cause Sports City's BOYZ Clark is 19 now, so it probably won't be not eligible.
BOYZ Clark are 19 now.
Double check.
When him turn 19.
But yeah, bro, this is the point though, because you know, in planning the show, you know, we think about it, and I said, let's look at the last two. We have to look at the last two and how many of these players.
So Teddy Lee made this list, you know, and Teddy Lee will come on from time to time, so on and so forth. You get me? I say, So Teddy Lee was saying this was the list that Teddy Lee was predicting. This was after the last under 20 World Cup, you know. After the last under 20 competition in the summer, Teddy Lee was predicting that this might be how it will look.
What will look?
The under 20 team will look in 2 years. Really and truly, under 20 is the creme de la creme.
Right.
Under 20 is what we deem as Manning Cup in schoolboy football. As under 17 will be like the coach, right? So in the age group football, they win the under 20 World Cup. That's the first World Cup that actually means something, to be honest. This was Teddy Lee's prediction after the competition. So he had Dwayne Lynch as the starting goalkeeper. This was for his prediction for the under 20. You know. I'm half big up Teddy Lee for this. Impressive. You get me? I say? Lynch, REGGAE Taylor, and Dante Peralta. Those are his two centre backs. That's what he's predicting. That's what he's predicting for the next under. That's next year's under 20. So we see Lynch. We saw Peralta and REGGAE Taylor were in this year's under 17 team. Academy did not make the cut. Then he has Chris Ainsworth, and who he has as his left back? Adrian Reed. Adrian made the cut for this under 20 team. So I was very impressed with this video. At his central defensive midfield, he had Romain Blake, and he also gave Romain Blake the captain of that under 20 team, which is not a bad shot. I think Romain Blake will probably captain the next under 20 team.
Yeah.
Think about it. Romain Blake, if BOYZ Clark is not eligible.
Yeah, BOYZ Clark is not eligible. I just check it. His birthday is in March and he's already 19.
Yeah,
He'll be 21.
So Romain Blake will most likely be the captain of that team. You know, if I'm not mistaken. Then he had Bicknell and Kobe Thomas. Another young one that played in the under 20s recently. Yeah. Remember, Kobe Thomas was a firecracker in that competition.
Inter Miami kid.
has the age. Then he has Claire Clark, Dylan John, and Dijon Richards up top. That would be his start. That's his predicted starting 11 for the next under 20 competition. Big up Teddy Lee. That's impressive.
And that's not even that we can well answer something like that.
That's not far fetched. But then remember
far-fetched
now
at
we
all.
have the additions of a few more international based players at this under 17 competition, which is who we have to look for. So I'm not understanding what on God's name Mr. Speed have been saying when he must. Can you see who him have? Him have the likes of like Twain Lynch and Adrian Reed and Dante Peralta and Roger Taylor.
Who are under 17 players now?
All of whom are in the squad right now. And it's safe to say that we expect Lynch to make that progression going forward. I think we should expect that based on how highly touted he is right now. Hopefully by the time it comes around for him to be an under 20 player, he'll probably be one of the captains of that under 20 team. You know, I think that's definitive. Hopefully he's overseas by then. You know, that should be the aim.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
that's a solid starting level. Like we can see that progression being done, and this was made before this under 17 team.
Yeah.
So this was steadily first because from after the last competition.
You know, me and mates, bro, that at the senior level, how awful it is. Because look at it. The stat that I just said a while ago, it just come back in my head. Only 3 players from the last 2 under 17 cycles.
Yeah.
So 2019 and 2017. Only 3 players made it to the senior team. Jamal Topi, Kaim Paris, and I think Atkinson would never even get a cap. So really and truly only 2 players make it. Isn't that crazy? Because now they're what? The players from 2017 are now 23 and 24. They are around that age. And the players from 2019 are now 21 and 22. So,
And you think about Timo Weah is one of the best players for America right now.
come on, man.
Timo Weah is a star for America right now. An American team is not called up without Timothy Weah. Pivotal player.
So we need for the. I feel like the plan needs to go all the way back to the under 15. Obviously, the plan needs to go to the grassroots and getting the players to under 15. But I feel like at the under 15 level, we need to start identifying the players and saying, all right, we are building our program around these few players. These are the 10 players that we are expecting that in the next 7 years, they will be, players to make it into the senior team. Elite Sports TV, pick up yourself, Ryan. I don't know anything go. Yeah, so like we are like finish now.
We are ready enough to go with a chat,
Ryan, if you want to join the stream, send me a message from my phone. Because we're there talk, Ryan, and interesting stat. Only 2 players from the last 2 under 17 teams have played in the senior REGGAE BOYZ team. What does that mean about our national setup?
From the last under 17 team to this under 20, the most recent under 20 team, only 1 player would have made that transition from under 17 to under 20. That's even more criminal than the senior team,
You're right.
That's even more criminal than the senior team because
So only 1 player in the last cycle, only 1 player that played under 17, played under 20.
that's criminal.
Wow, right, man, I send a link.
I don't that it's absolutely absurd to me. That one is even worse. Like I find the international team, them go from let's say 19 to 35. So it might take you a longer time to break into the senior international team. But you mean 2 years later? 2 years later?
So yeah, what this means is that at 17, at 16 years old, you're one of the best players. You're one of the best players under 17. One of the best Jamaicans under 17. And just 2 years later, you can't make an under 20 squad. What does that say about our setup, bro?
That's crazy. That's
You sure?
crazy.
No, man, we forgot you the squad again. Because we can't only 1 player.
Yeah.
So this is the last. I need to go back to 2019. Right? I need to share the screen again. Because that sounds like madness.
I remember I made mention to it before in the show. Remember I said that we don't see a lot of transition throughout the age groups, and I thought that was, I didn't know it was this bad.
No, man, check it to them and it's awful, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know it was this. I'm not even talking about the senior team because fine, the senior team can be hard.
This is the squad. This is the squad. This is the last under 17 squad. Right? So we have Nash, Rochester. Rochester is the only player from this squad. Me go again. Can I go check the under 20 squad after this now, bro? Because that can't be true. But from the names that I can remember, I don't remember much other than Rochester. Lamont Rochester is the only player I can see right now that played under 20 for Jamaica, that played in the under 17 before. So make us see. The Jamaica under 20 team. How do we fix this, bro? How do we fix this?
Absurd.
What do we do?
As I said, so this was something that I was saying. Continuity, I think, is our biggest issue. Simon Preston gave us a big list of players who we should be looking to add to our under 20 team. Obviously, if these players are all better than all the players that we have, then we should incorporate them. However, I genuinely do believe that we have players in Jamaica, 16 and 17-year-olds, who are definitely good enough to be in academies overseas, but haven't got the chance to make the move in. So
And you know what? It's kind of unfair, bro. I just admit it. Remember that we didn't have. Remember, COVID did spoil things.
yeah,
Right? So, Lamont Rochester was 15 years old. Right here. Some of these players, i.e. Dwayne Atkinson, couldn't quite make it. But Ryan, what going, brother? You here, Ryan?
you might mute, boss. We
Check
can't
if your
hear.
mic mute, Ryan. Check if your mic mute.
Hit no mute. We just can't hear him. I don't know. We
Alright,
can't
well,
hear FC.
I work on getting Ryan back in. Yeah. So Ryan, where I say?
System scenario.
No, man. Remember, so we have to make sure the quality up in there. You don't see anything hot. You don't see how we stream them look. But we're going to just cool now. Just cool now. remember, say you started, you know. But watch out, we have a conversation. And we realize that in the last two under 17 squads, only 2 players play for the senior team. So in the last 6 years, remember that 2019 we play under 17, then in 2017 we play under 17 again. Only 2 of those players make it to the senior team. Kaim Paris, only Kaim Paris and Jamai Tope. Exactly. What is happening? All the national setup, like how do they plan it? And when you have an under 17 squad, albeit the under 17 squad underperform. So probably that was the problem from jump. Probably the under 17 squad was bad from jump. That's why Ryan, something might cover your mic. Look at something might cover your mic. You're muffled.
You might muffle. I'm phone in my use.
Or your phone you use, Jaja.
Your mic, your audio sound terrible, boss. Sound like him having earpods or something, and then just not work good. We can't.
Yeah, something probably connect to your Bluetooth. But your audio sound awful, bro. Probably have to try it again the next day still. Amansa Romario Williams did make it. No, remember, you're talking about under 20, we are talking about under 17. We are talking about players right now that are 22, 23, 24, 25. Those players. What
Because
is
remember, the last Jamaica team to qualify, the last male Jamaica team to qualify for the World Cup was that under 17 team. Bolstering the likes of O'Shane Jenkins and Andre Lewis and Nico Campbell and Omar Holness.
Ryan, no, you never met that squad there, Ryan. Talk again.
Still now.
Your audio poor, bro. Your audio poor.
Can't hear a word of you, Samachi.
Ryan, watching Ryan, you need to get up back your laptop, bro. You need to get back your studio. This phone thing now gonna work, bro.
I know, but I respect him, no respect him. I'm not. Come back, come for anybody thing with phone in their hands. So we in here. We are call you out, you know.
Him laptop mash up.
Oh, so phone you didn't work on.
Can't hear Ryan, dog. We have to have Ryan on idea. Because this is Ryan, want to know how you never make the 2011 under 17 squad. Because you say you was the best keeper in the country them time there. So you probably have to call me on my phone and tell me where you were going. Or from them time with the corruption hat.
So I say it's better than Nico Campbell.
We can't hear what we know sense so.
But to be honest, bro, Nico Campbell heard this still. Can't tell you that straight. Them telling me a better keeper than Nico Campbell. He got strong still. I lose him game then James.
Ryan, reconnect. Come off and reconnect and see what's going on.
We can't hear Ryan.
But yeah, so people are talking about 2017. Them play there 2011. Them play there old man now, Bridging. And even so, not a lot of them made it to the senior team, bro. You get me I say? How many of those players came to the squad? I'm not talking about just get caught. How many of those players play? Yeah, Romario came down, a couple of them.
As I said, bro, the transition to the senior team is a bit more difficult. You know, you're not going to see vast transitioning from recent teams. Because
what about under 20?
Yeah, huh?
What about under 20?
From the under 20 team to the senior team? Yeah, it should be more than it is in Jamaica, but you can't expect a mass transition. It's not going to happen. You get me? So because you're going to have players that are going to hold their spaces in the senior team for 15 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Some positions, like especially goalkeepers, like some positions are just going to be hard to come and dispose a person. So you're not going to really see that transition made very, 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 very frequently. You know, so you normally have like change of the guards. You get me? I said with senior teams. So Jamaica hasn't changed the guard yet because we have a relatively aged team. Like we have an old team, as you made mention to recently. You know, so as soon as this team phases out, then we're going to see a lot of the players from previous week competitions filter in. And probably not because we have overseas-based players that will come take over from them anyways. Yeah. But the transition is not normally as smooth from youth levels to senior levels because senior levels is not just 2 years having that. But my gripe is that why we not transition them from youth level to youth level to youth level?
Yeah, so why them?
I mean they're more prepared with the system because they're playing the same system for longer for then make the transition to the senior level. You get me? I say that 1 or 2 or 3 we're going to filter into the senior because it's not going to be more than 1 or 2 or 3. It's just not. You get me? I say at a given time. So I'm not really so concerned about that. But may I say they should be transitioning in the youth levels better than they are right now.
Ryan sound like him mic live. What going on?
Yeah, good now. You hear me now?
Great. We want to know, the people in the comment section want to know how you not make the 2011 under 17 squad. Are you too old for that? Because I don't think you're old, man.
No, man. I'm a year group that, man. I'm a year. So.
Who was Odin Clark? No, Odin Clark was one of the goalkeeper then.
Odin Clark,
Nico Campbell.
And Nico Campbell. 3 of them goalkeeper there.
Goalkeeper. Nico Campbell, be a foolishness name and them World Cup there. Grieve me, see man. Be a madness the man go down there go do them and them World Cup there. Right? God. You know, say I'm losing game. Odin Clark was supposed to be the number 1 keeper. Odin Clark get hurt before the World Cup. Them give Nico Campbell start in our first 2 games. Them. And the only good game where we get from a goalkeeper against France, where Trench play and Trench make some backside save and play some good football.
See the squad, man. How about the squad?
You know where them send Nico Campbell. People they say, oh, I know that squad there. I even have to look on it for know the squad.
Richard Trench, Ocean Jenkins, Kimo Wallace, Jason Wint, Alvas Powell, Quant Simpson, Romario Williams, Romario Jones, Omar Olness. Give me a second before we continue. I'm going to add in again. I read out the squad. Omar Olness, Jason Wright, Andre L.A. Lewis, Patrick Palmer, Odin Clark, Giovanni Brown, Anthony Walker, Troy Moo Penn, Melvin Blair, Zelana Barnes, Cardell Benbow, Sean Lawson, Nico Campbell. Bro, we didn't have to make that World Cup still, you know.
That team, they're big.
That's why they are big still in the youth.
Bro, and I want to tell you the amount of good player get left out of that team, brother. The way that team, they're big. Because here's the thing, bro. And that's why I'm so upset with Donzel and Speed and the man them. You see that World Cup there? Although 2011 the World Cup, bro, we have prepared from 2009. 2 years worth of preparation the team they get. I want to tell you, from 2009, them scout the best player them. Kingston and St. Andrew. Them scout the best player them in a Kingston and St. Andrew. What them do, them put some of the 25 players to Kingston and 25 to St. Andrew. Right? So the best that from town. What them do now, them go to the parish, who play parish league and thing, and you know the best player of them. If you can't make a parish team, you're on a ball. If you can't make a parish team, you're on a ball. I play for St. Andrew. Rudolph Speed coach me.
If you can't make a parish team, you're not
Yeah, you're not ready yet. So what happened in that 2009, we play parish league, the man them score the best player them from in a town, bring them together, and then them go a country, we score the best player them. Alvas Powell come in late because Boris Johnson find Alvas Powell. I say, yo, we see a centre back. Him say Alvas can play centre back and right back. The man them see Alvas Powell on a centre mass. And then bring him in. Alvas Powell come in late in the program. No, I did it from the program start, brother.
Jaja.
From 2009, the thing can tell it from Speed was the Cassava president at the time. When that team, the Speed are the one who make sure that they put that team there together and thing. So Wendell Downswell, he did it. Boris Johnson were part of the early part, Boris Johnson helped with the picking the players them and all of them thing there. And Wendell Downswell start the under 17 training down at George's up at the top field. Not the first field, on the top field where the cricket play. So them started, Wendell Downswell started up there. Spider as the goalkeeper coach, the same manager, Rice Simpson, at the time was the manager for the team. And may I tell you, say, we camp, every week we day in a camp, brother.
Where was the camp?
At school. Up one of them uptown place there. I think I Shartwood Road, up a Shartwood. Something like so. But we camp up there and thing. Good, nice facility, brother. And thing. Can't go around that, brother. But a bunk bed at the time was small. We are small youth and things. So we never have no problem with the bunk bed. I get 3 meals a day, I get everything, brother. Bro, and that's why I'm so upset with the man him. Because Downswell know the right thing and Speed know the right thing. Say, if you are prepared for your youth World Cup, you need at least 2 years. 1 year to find the best player them across the country, and the next year a training, practice game, and all of them stuff there. Brother, that team there wicked, bro. You see, Zelana Barnes, me that Excelsior at the time. Just go Excelsior 2009, brother. Me and Zelana Barnes, OJ Bedwards, and few more Excelsior man, they are part of the team, brother. And thing. But me did get cut in the later part, brother, and that's why I'm so vexed, brother, because I did it from the start and thing. But at the time, brother, you know, so I tell it and we get a whole heap of distracted with girl and all of them stuff there and thing. So I'm not really blame it on the Football Federation, but I should have in that team there, brother, because I tell you, bro, I play cool to Excelsior that year there, brother. A 7 goal concede, bro. 2011, I had the best goalkeeper in our Manning Cup, brother, not a national call, brother.
Jaja.
You understand? So, I don't know, joke thing, brother. We play with dudes, but yeah, back to the thing now, brother. So, me get cut out of the team, brother, and as a youth, them time, you get vexed and disappointed, but you still did their support. You understand? Because you don't know a player that we live with, spend a whole heap of time with and all of them thing there. So me did happy for the team although me get cut and all of them thing there. Actually, me and Bam Bam was good friend, bro. Them time I go a Jarvis and thing and me I go Eki. I'm a good virgin up to today. And thing. Big up yourself, Bam Bam.
Never rate
So,
him as keeper.
eh?
Never rate him as...
Bro, you're so funny, bro. I should have win Manning Cup with Georges, brother. It's a 2009, but they are Georges. Birthdays every day, bro. Call me. Boss here, lunch money. Them time there, me I go Coburn Garden. And him I say, yo, Him want me come at George's, brother. I don't at George's, brother.
No, you can't say that, Ryan. You can't say that.
What?
We do an interview with Neville Bellman and him say him a recruit, brother.
You say him not ask nobody to come to him school.
No, Bertis himself. Bertis not really do it, but them have people. Bertis, them have people. No, me can tell you, bro. Every day Bertis call my mother, brother. Every day. Bertis call my mother.
Right, yeah, out the man, right? The man don't tell you say him not do them thing there.
So don't ask people to come. People ask him, and he make them come. But you know, I don't know.
Yeah, but him accept him probably not do it now, but me not go water down him things. So him no recruit.
Yeah.
Him
Continue.
no recruit. So me not water down him things. So you see here when I go Excelsior,
Yeah.
I win Coles, brother, and Bertis as coach, UWI at the time, I can't forget. And him see me down at Excelsior, I'm gonna stand up at the two bench them. And him say, yo, Ryan, come here. How many see I play Manning Cup? Georges beat Excelsior in the semi-final over Harborview semi-final. And the man say, how many see I play Manning Cup? Then the Georges have the big shoppy goalkeeper, 2009, brother. Man say, a Manning Cup you should have win, you know, me I tell him some win Coles. Man say, a Manning Cup you should have win, brother. And me always have a lot of respect for Bertis and thing, but at the time, bro, you know, we love the girls, them and thing. If you know my story, I always mess me up, bro. So I go to Excelsior the first day, brother. When I go to George's, I say, channel star. Them time, if you have a girl, you don't have a phone. Oh, she forget your number, you don't have a phone. So she come up on the B-mobile, brother.
Yeah, man, a journalist, man.
Brother, so put me tell you, say, bro, them song there, I play in the bus, them and all of them thing done. One girl, brother, as a young youth ball, as a baller. Bro, when I go to George's, I say, but I said, sure. Bro, you see the first time I go, bro, up to today, man, are the prettiest girl them ever see, bro. I never go nowhere else. And so much pretty girl. Excelsior 2009, brother. The girl, first day, brother. I never look back. Never look back, brother. Bertis call me. Bertis call me one day and Aliman decided me and Aliman said, who that you talk to on the phone? And I said, Bertis, you know. And him say, give me the phone. And him take the phone from me. Man say, yo, Bertis, my boy, you know. And Bertis. You know, Bertis is a man who always, a lot of people respect Bertis. Him say, yeah, man, coach, don't worry yourself and thing. So comes, me go Excelsior, you know. But Excelsior, bro, may I show you, bro. Messi man, ask them anytime when I interview them. Zelana Barnes and them can tell you. You see, we go up on the same under 17, we do up on the trials, brother. My youth, speed them can tell you when me play. I go up on the trials, brother, up at Barbican. Brother, a 45 minute I play. Everybody play 2 half to prove themselves, brother. 45 minute I play. And the coach, Jackie Walters, the Aliman say, yo, they know I see me again, brother. Make some wicked save the morning, brother. The man him say, yo, you get picked. You don't want to have to see you again. That's up, that child, the brother. JC, KC, all of the scout them. Take my phone number, my mother phone number and thing. And at the time, I did grade 9 achievement. I have a Coburn garden at the time. And the man say, yo, you have to sit out in a year, you just come right in. So I tell him, say, yo, I have exam coming up that are the 9th grade achievement and thing. So I tell him, say, yo, I still have to go do it said way. Because I never run the risk. Next thing I get you. Because Kevin Blackwood, the captain, the man them always talk about Coles. And Coles and Pepsi and thing. And I say, yo, I want to play Coles and Pepsi, you know. Yeah. So that it kind of forced me. Never pass for a good, never pass for high school. I pass for Coburn Garden. So while me at Boys Town, that forced me to do my schoolwork, brother. And I decided to say, yo, brother, I waste my time in a 6th grade, brother. I'm going to pass for high school, bro. But when me and the man talk about Pepsi and Coles, bro, every day I take my book.
I miss Pepsi.
I miss Pepsi, brother. But the greatest thing, brother, is when I go to Coburn Garden, brother, I tell you, say, yo, at the first me ever take up so much book, brother. My pass a Donald technical. Cause I decide say, yo, me have to play Pepsi and Manning Cup, brother. Coles and Manning Cup. Me now make that miss me up.
Yeah, but Ryan, you did play all age league.
No, them never. I made a change from my school, but them never enter, brother.
Okay,
I want to tell you,
all age league got, you know.
bro, it hard, but even when the team, you know, say, me there at school, bro, when me there at school, brother, the school a search for a goalie, you know, and thing, you know. But me want to play centre back. Or I want to play left back.
Yeah.
But because I know, I look on the team, I say, oh, I can't make that team, brother. I have to go, I go in and a goal. And one day, the keeper not come. I'm going at a goal, and the coach I say, yo, yeah, if you can't play out, yeah, I have to go in at the goal. I have to go in at the goal. But me is a natural keeper, but because my sister say, yo, I can make that team here, you know. I saw me to stay, you know. Me always think say, I can play out, you know, but a goalkeeper my thing, but I don't want to play out. If you can't league or anything, you can't get me for going on a goal. You understand? I want to play out. So me go over there, so bro. I suck on Georges and all of them school, you see me, brother. I suck on, I go to Excelsior, but the reason why I go to Excelsior that win at the time, Georges just started to win back in 2009. And Excelsior that win more, but I really, the woman, they make me go. The girl, they make me go to Excelsior. I tell you the truth.
Yeah, cause Excelsior in the 2010s, like around them time, Excelsior a big school, we talk about Scary and Bobo and them and the top
Bro,
school.
even before that, they win back-to-back Manning Cup 04 and 05.
So,
You see the
Excelsior
Walker
a big
Cup.
school, man.
Walker Cup, them beat Calabar in the Walker Cup final 2008. You understand? So, they have been having the track record 2007, they went to fight. No, 2006. Excelsior got 3 Manning Cup final. 3 Manning Cup finals straight. 2004 them win, 2005 them win, and them lose to Bridgeport 2006, 3-1 at National Stadium. Samuels come from down at my place. Killer of Excelsior. I may watch Excelsior on TV. You understand? But at the time, me come from Rima, I don't really know nothing about Georges and them school, brother. Excelsior, I know about, bro. Seriously, bro, because Excelsior hot like fire.
Yeah,
Them
Excelsior
time
get
there.
a good run. Yeah, man, I remember Excelsior get a good run, man.
Yeah, Libro and Aliman, man, win a lot of trophy and thing, but less of that, bro. More happy for the under 7, the under 17 team there, bro. Me did happy for the under 70 team there. But every day I cuss Maxwell say on a corruption, brother. I should have another team there, brother. Every day I tell him, I don't miss him.
From them, them time, them made that. I remember playing against that. I never, obviously, I was in grade 7. Remember when, bro, George did play me the rook that year, the dad. Up at Winchester Park, at 11 Meadowbrook get. Up at Meadowbrook Bottom Field, we get 3 love. Congrats. Good game. Good game. You get what I say?
I'll never go in the team, dad. I'll never go in the team.
As in, I was in grade 7.
May I ask you if I'll ever go in the team?
Them let in. Oh, me I play in grade 7. Me I keep going at a little team.
No Pepsi at that.
In grade 7, me about 5'7", 89 pounds.
No. Oh, 89 pounds.
This small, no? If you ever play a Manning Cup, but them time I start in a Pepsi though. Them time I go play KC and everybody was, but that's another point. Remember, Meadowbrook, we have a brother, Lyndon, him did play, you know that, him score against George, it's not tough. 11-1 when they get up at Winchester. And the youth of our age, we end up playing Manning Cup with him at grade 7. But
Bro, you know what I'm saying? As I talk about level, the first game I ever play, brother, first professional game, when I play against Arpachi Primary. We play at Tinsipen, brother. First game I come on TV. Them time the primary school league I come on TV, brother. 6 me get on TV, brother. 6.
You don't want to go up, bro.
Brother, 6 me get on TV, brother. 6 down at Tinsipen, bro.
As I said, so you see that George's team, you know, I used to grade 7. I know say me was the man for Pepsi, you get me, I say. But obviously, I can't keep me there with money to play.
And you know what I say, that even the same year that 2009, that start for Georges 2009. Bam Bam would never come at Georges, bro. Speed them would never make him go at Georges, because they know him would never get in a game. You know what?
I don't rate Nico Campbell as a goalkeeper. I been a set, but I never him did supposed to start still now at the JC keeper. But
No, because yo Bamba me have over the whole of it.
size.
Yeah, bro. Yo,
Big.
bro, when you stand upside that man, brother, me I tell you, say you. The man, me stand upside that man, I may have a look up, bro. When you have them height as a goalkeeper, you get the privilege, bro.
It remind me, you know, when we did first see him, as me said,
Doing car. You see, you know, doing car.
him tall and doing car.
No, bro.
Ryan Thompson, him and doing car about the same size, yeah.
Doing car, bro. You ever stand upside that? Me do the goalkeeper chain with the doing car.
Doing car.
Brother,
But
them man the hand, brother, like about 4 times my hand, bro.
Doing car big too, but doing car couldn't keep goal neither. But even I don't talk. Watch out, I need to be more politically correct on the channel. Like, I might want to get the man in for an interview, so I need to stop with them things. But I just, you get me, I say? But as I say, when I see Nico Campbell play for the Georges team there.
Jacomino Barrett, where ran Jacomino Barrett? Because Jacomino Barrett big like them, you know.
Virgin, Jacomino Barrett for the JPL, him never bad. Him never bad when he play for Seba, Mobile United. Him go out with himself, him get him national call up them. But you see, when I talk about Jamaican goalkeeper who could have keep Richard McCallum, could have keep.
Never get a good look in though. Never get a fair trial at the shot.
You don't know why he get so much fight enough. Rush, he was the first person where the drop kick and like the
side and foot.
The first one when I see that time I say, bomba that bad and him pick anybody and him kick it far. Richard
and that mash up my knee, man, because I follow him, brother. Every day I practice that, brother.
He was the first one to see
every day, brother, but it's a technique, brother. If you miss the ball, if you flick it up so you miss it, brother, like you have water knee, brother.
No, we see it very often with the goalkeeper them. But Rush, he was the first one to say, boop, and he might pick anybody. He might pick Coffee from 4, and I tell you that I'll drop right on him foot.
Yeah, man, McCallum ain't bad, but what as them go back to again, if you notice all of the goalie them will get there, the breakthrough different from Blakey, big, huge.
Yeah.
You understand? Sean, my boy big too. Donovan Ricketts.
Yeah, Donovan Ricketts could have keep goal still.
Donovan Ricketts bad.
Yeah,
between Donovan Ricketts and Andre Blake for me are the 2 best goalkeeper.
All they say.
I feel like most people have that.
That's the thing with Donovan Ricketts now, from him at 19, him play D Cup, man. Him could have keep goal. And then him they have the size one top to back him up. So that's how he make it to the MLS. He win like 3 goalkeeper there and so like. But you see the point I'm trying to make with Nico Campbell, man, I see him that year in a Manning Cup. Like, me not understand how, like, this was after the World Cup. Manning Cup was after the World Cup. And him come back and him have the hype from the World Cup and this and that. I mean, I say, he make so many. George is the big still end up win still. But he make so many little mistakes.
Only George's team big them time, the brother. So every little mistake, them go out.
Them not fair get them 5-1. You get me, I say?
Yeah.
Them not fair get
Who
them.
get 5-1? Who get 5-1?
Some not get 5-1. Some like 5-1 when them play and them win 5-1 and them concede like Meadowbrook when them lose 11-1. Meadowbrook not fair score upon the George's team. You get me, I say? And them look at team
George's team there, bad brother. Yo, me I tell you, we and George's we play Manning Cup semi-final, final, you know, bro. Me I tell you, one of my worst game me have in my life, brother. The night before me I tell the man, Kareem Bantam say, yo, brother, just one more, brother, just one. We play, we name the man Idle at the semi-final, man, 2012. 2013, we play Idle in the National Stadium, brother. And the man him come back, brother. I lead half time 1-0, bro. Me give it 2 goals still. Nah, I lie still. Yeah, me give it 2 goals. And you know what? My foot is swell up and the coach now take me off, you know. You know, say life funny, you know, bro. You know, say me there upper camp at work. And remember, me the tear off one of the youth them face. The man just come on the pitch, you know, and the man have to end up. The man have to end up, Rush. The man have to end up leave the pitch, brother. God doctor, brother. Me tear off the whole of the man face. You know, say every day me there up park camp, the man turn soldier. Every day, me and the man talk together. The man give me all money for buy food, brother. Every day. And they just betting, bro. And the girl I say, yo,
who get a chop there over your face? And him a say to us, say, you know, say, me play Manning Cup 2013 and my collar with the Excelsior goalkeeper and him tear off the whole of my face. Brother, I say to him, say, brother, me, you know, man, I say, I lie. Man, say, I kill more and kill that goalie boy. No, when I tell him, man, I say, yo, I tell him, say, yo, me, you know. The man, I say, I kill more and kill a goalie. I lie, I tell. I tell him, say, yo, I'm me. I'm all my pants, brother, and show him the chop over my knee, brother. Cause me play like Alice to them, you know. I play as a sweeper keeper. So I always depend me 18-yard box or my 6-yard box or the penalty. So any ball that come through, I come clean up. So my team always play a high line. Brother, I idle man play a ball down the channel in a national stadium, brother. And him fast, you know, him think I'm on God alone, brother. Brother, may I tell you, but if I center up on the 18-yard box, brother. It's when the ball play down in the channel, brother. I run out, brother. I blam with the ball and him and hip, bro. The man frightened, all me did frightened. But because I come blindside on him, brother, may I tell you, the thing mash up my knee, bro. The whole of the man, bro. You see, when the man drop me and the man drop there, brother, I pay a blood right, they say the man face. The man just come on and not even 30 seconds the man upon the field. Brother, I just feel my knee just a swell upon me. All me I say, yo, coach, can't move. The man them screw a ball for go equalize. The boy come from Tivoli. I can't remember his name. He usually play for Idle, man. For equalize. The man them screw the ball in the box, brother. And me if I'm but, you know. And I say, go. And so I say to myself, for go, you know. I'm in a two-minded. While from the get-go the ball come, he said me to go for the ball, but I reach it before him. Because the foul that come from all the way outside of the 18-yard box, you know. So the ball scream me a second guess myself if I go for it. And I know because my foot is sick. I don't want to go in at anything for mess up my foot. Because I never want to come out. Because I don't want to even play out for save the penalty. Because I can't see a penalty. Brother, so I go for the ball. I reach it before him in my youth. But I use my two fists them and thump it, brother. You see the man go up, brother. The thump him, go thump the ball, brother. The ball hit the man right now, made, brother.
Gotcha.
Brother, you see me the side look behind me, the ball in the neck, brother. I look, me see the man must celebrate, bro. Man say, yo, Father God, whenever, bro. I punch the ball, brother. I didn't know how the ball lick on the man and go in at the goal. The thing go 1-1. After that, brother, man, they made kill in the stadium, brother. Can't forget that game, brother. Whoa, Jonah Flemings can't tell you, brother. We played JC in the CMA, the semi-final, in the Manning Cup, brother. In the Walker Cup semi-final, brother. And me I tell you, say, yo, everything will come. Me deal with it.
Rush, a Flemo, I feel for that year there, you know. Flemo was 15. And them say, oh, we're going to give you your under 17 year to captain your team. So we're not going to carry a World Cup.
Yeah, that team, him should have got a World Cup there.
But them say they're going to give him field team, you know.
Bro, Manning, yo, Flemo play Manning Cup from the 7th grade in the Ashani Walker, you know.
Yeah. So how you would feel as Flemo now? Because film team barely miss out, you know. The next team after that barely miss qualification, no.
Bro, Siago say, yo. Ain't I mean, know that them do and cut Flemo, brother. Them Siago know late. The man my JFF make Siago know late, bro. Cause, yo, you could have touched Junior Fleming's brother. Siago boy, brother. I know him come from Tivoli and thing, bro. The man, Siago will do anything for Junior Fleming's, bro. The man love Junior Fleming's like cook food, brother. Brother, at the first under 13 final, under 17, Siago gonna miss them final with Tivoli play. Me BOYZ don't play against him, brother. And Siago, bro, the man love Fleming's, bro. The man send Flemings go to England, you know.
Mm.
More chance, you know, bro.
Yeah.
And the man them cut him, bro. And Siago never know, brother. I mean, I tell you, say. Any
Because
Siago.
the rule is not right. You can't represent your country at age group World Cup twice. So you see, if your country go World Cup and you play another World Cup there, you can't go back to the World Cup again.
Why?
If you never qualify, you can play the next cycle.
Yeah, you can. I think you can. Remember, so the CFU Championship is a CONCACAF thing, you know, and that's a CONCACAF decide who got World Cup. But once
Bro,
you play World Cup at that age group, you can't play back in the same age group there.
You can only go World Cup once.
You can only play one time in the age group. Think about it. Why Messi wouldn't play in the under 20 World Cup twice and 3 times? And Lionel Messi that from a 15 him can make any Argentina World Cup team. Messi can play.
Yeah, Messi no win. I 2 World Cup Messi winning, you know.
Messi win the under 20 World Cup.
Yeah, with Aguero and all of them.
At a one time.
Di Maria.
You not think Messi can play the under 20 for Argentina under 20 team 3 times? Of course, easy. You get me? I say Messi win under 20 World Cup and then Messi win Olympics. So
bro, and the man them need even want to pick Messi, bro. Cause the man them didn't even know Messi, bro. It's a practice game, Messi. Father play.
Messi play under 17 for Argentina too.
No, most time, you know, in a Barcelona I'm there, you know. Yeah. Nobody from Spain, nobody from Argentina really know about him. Me I watch a documentary, Messi father get one team for him play. Organize a team for him play and get it's not even a good, not even a referee or referee when somebody act like a referee in Argentina. Just for them make Messi see play. Me I watch a documentary.
Even them time, I think it was Del Busquets or who did coach the Spanish team them time. They are beg the man to play for Spain and him saying nah do it. Boy. But I just said bro, so the FIFA have a rule where you only can play in an age group World Cup one time.
I never know that. I learned something tonight.
Yeah, so I don't know why them do this, but this is that thing. So like how them did qualify for the World Cup, they know them never carry Flemo, because them say, alright Flemo, I make you qualify your own team for World Cup. And you are a captain your team.
The team they bad, you know. The Flemings team they bad, you know.
They nearly qualified for the World Cup. They missed World Cup by this much. I know so them time the Flemings I walk out with the man band same way. I done up that. But what you would have do? Bird in the hand, 2 in the bush. Me I go bird as a 15.
No, if I have to choose, I'm going to World Cup. But
the thing about it, you know that you're not going to play.
Yeah, no, I'm going to play because
Yo, Flemings bad them time there, you know, bro.
It's good still. He would have definitely get minutes for that team.
I play everything. I play everything with it. I play under 17, under 15, under 13. Play against under 20. Under 21. I play against Flemings. So I play every level with Flemings, bro. Every single level. I play with him.
Flemings was really, truly, as I say, a standout young player for Jamaica. And you know, something I always wonder, had Flemings, been born in England, like what Flemings' career would look like right now? Because you definitely have to attribute lack of development to why him there right now. Because they're naturally gifted football.
Yeah, and speaking of Junior Flemings, him on loan right now, back to League 2.
Back to League 2. Hopefully he can play some games.
Bro, you know what mess up Flemings, bro? You know what mess up Flemings? Play too much Manning Cup, bro.
Too much, but that's what I just like I said. He play Manning Cup for too long. Him should have, you know when him left Manning Cup at 19 and go play for Tifali, that should have been 17 and go play for Tifali.
Bro, when Flemings are 15, bro, me can tell you, when the man are 15, brother, Flemings are starting on a 20 team for Tivoli, bro.
Of course.
So him always play against him always step on him age group, brother. But you see, because the man play about 6 Manning Cup, bro.
Man play Manning Cup all the way back at grade 13. I rush, remember that got to my point. If Flemings never have Manning Cup for wasting time at 18 and 19, if Flemings did left Manning Cup at 17 and go play for Tifoli and go score him 10 goals in the Premier League, and which he would have, guarantee if he did left and go Tifoli them time there, he would have still
Tivoli have fired him. Tivoli have fired him time there, brother.
He guarantee him would have still got score back at 17. You get me? I said not much difference already from 17 to 19. And the same move we make at 19, we would have make at 17. It would have probably even be a better move.
Yeah, bro. Even team of England for sign and Thiago, you want more money, bro. One team of England want sign for him and say Eddie, we want more money, bro.
Watching on my side, I have to wrap up in a few, plus I have to make Ryan going bit. So watching on where I end it on that, on this note. Ryan, 1.5 month worth of training camp for the under 17 team. MERRON Garden is the head coach. Who we believe the JFF is never work off a promise right now. He's not proven. We don't know where to get from him. How you think we are gonna perform in this competition? Even though we don't know the teams, we don't know how good they are. But if we're supposed to go up on our preparation, you think we're ready for that tournament? Yeah?
No. I hear the nice that we have good quality player, but I hear that nice so many times that always have good player. We always have good player. We always have good player coming out of the Manning Cup. But they never get enough time, chemistry together. And going into the tournament, we coach them always no figure. Them don't know the best team, right? They never know the best team. Them have to Japan change. If you see the under 20, them have to change up a whole heap of things to see who is the best player. And I think the time is a little bit. They need more time, but me not see the team play, but me see them train. But me not really like what me see. Me see them train. Me not really like what me see, and that's just a little piece of clippings me see. But sky's the limit for them. But my hopes, I don't think they're going to qualify. If they qualify, I give them credit. I give them flowers. I big them up. But for me, it's just I just can't go off. Me not see them play yet. I'm probably wrong, but based on the preparation, I know it go. I think they still need more time. Understand? And the team just picked the other day. So many players playing a practice game were not going to be a part of the team. With the sense that the team should at least pick before a month and them just sitting down playing game together and all of them things. But as you only know some of the players, they are good Manning Cup player, but most of these players they're going to go up against. They're going to get these players getting first class training from good coaching staff and all of them things there. We have good qualification. Most of these youth that playing for most of these clubs, they either them in a college, in a good academy who have train week in, week out, every single day. While our Jamaican player them get a break, fitness, and then playing against JPL team. I don't know if we don't learn from that. We don't learn nothing. Our national team playing against the JPL team. They play slow and everything. I think what they're doing now, I think they have 2 games against Trinidad. Jamaica Federation need to get some more of these where they play against opponents. Not winning them group, but try to arrange with some of these Caribbean team where they're going to play against these players. Because most of these players, simple as them playing in the Caribbean and them playing in the 80, they're getting better coaching than some of our Jamaican players. You understand? So, MERRON Gardner, listen press conference, bro. Like, I'm totally honest, bro. I don't think he's that guy. I still think.
I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I think he should still be a part of the senior team when getting a lot of experience and exposure there by the world class coach of Al Gimson and him team. But I am not a big fan of MERRON Gardner. I hear from credible people say play long ball the team play. And you guys know these players where them have a lot of touch player on the team. But typical Jamaican coaching, bro. Like they're going to go to the tournament and just different for them life. And they probably score a look of buck-ups goal on them and team just come back and last 10-15 minutes and score 2 on them. Bro, you need who going to score the goal for this Jamaican team.
Yeah, me hear something about Jamani Bella play forward. I'm not really 100% sure about that. So
I mean, yeah, goalkeeper take penalty and all of them madness. Can you imagine? Goalkeeper I kick penalty for you. That not tell us ain't a problem.
Yeah, and you know the first thing, when I start listening to the press conference, I'm hear him say something. I hear him say they had to get the players first and then decide the system what they want to play. from a year that me I say, Jesus, I'm crying. Or you as a coach, you have to know where you want to play long before, Bridging. You must know your system. You must know where you
And
get out.
No, to be honest, no, you can't. You have to know your players before you know your system.
Bro, especially
Jomar,
in
where
a
you get that
season.
from, bro?
No, you
I'm
have
not
to know.
listening because at the end of the day, if your 20 best players are big and strong and fast, but not technically gifted, you can't play touch football. You have to analyze the players that you have and make a system. And I like it.
Not to the system. Not
And
to
I
the
like it a
system.
club football where you can
Hold
buy
on.
players to suit your system.
Not to the system, bro. With the way you implement your system, yes, you have to use the type of players where you have with how you play your system. But the type of system where you want to play, you can't wait to see the players to know what kind of system you want to play, bro. How you have to implement the system, or you have to tweak it, fine. If you like play on the flank and you realize say you're not on a fast winger, then you probably play inverted wingers, but you still have to play the same way the ball play, I saw it have to play.
No, the ball can't play the same
Bro,
way.
your point of attack can be different in the same system, bro.
Explain to me if your system is a short passing system or an overlapping wing back system, and your two wing back them slow like bat. And your two wing back them can't square. Your two best wing back them in the whole country can't square. The only thing you gotta do, in order to suit your system, you have to play wingers at wing back. That make you susceptible in the defense. You know what you have to do now? Now we're gonna just play a flat back four, and then we're gonna start use wingers them and not overlap with wing backs.
No, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Just make your wingers wider, and then you gonna cross from that. So you still can
But
play the
you're
same
not going to
system.
overlapping. So when you make your wing backs wider, who are
Your
going to
wingers.
Yeah, when you make your wingers wider, who are going to fill the half spaces where the wingers them would have filled in the original system?
That's what me I try to tell you.
Midfielder
Bro,
them.
listen,
When
man.
you attack midfielder them push back, your central have to step forward. You get me? I say the wing back them probably have to tuck in. That's a
Bro,
completely different
listen,
system.
man. The formation are gonna change. The way you implement the system are gonna change. But your point of attack will also change. But the system not gonna change. You will still be whipping in cross from outside. Is either your wing backs are gonna whip in the cross, or your wingers are gonna whip in the cross, or you're gonna whip in cross from deep. But you are still a team that whips in cross. So every coach know how him play. Every coach know how him want play.
Yeah, Jomar, him right, brother. You're supposed to have an idea where you want to play, but at the same time, still, I look upon the players them who
And
can
tweak
make
it.
a system. Bro, listen, and these are the things when we speak these way, people think we trying to build it to them, we're being personal, we have a vendetta against these coach. We don't have no vendetta against these coach. We don't have no problem with them, but all we're saying, they just need to get up to speed. Because remember, watch this. Messi a play corner league, brother. And you can imagine Messi come play corner league and me a pile Messi.
Which is
Hmm?
where I start.
Eh? You can imagine Messi come and a play corner league with me and me a pile Messi.
France.
Hmm?
Object bingo.
Yo, bro, we're up against even the under 20 in Saturday against Damrick. The man them have a pro licensed coach up against a B CONCACAF licensed coach. Brother, what
Which
do you
license
think
me
of
run
that?
God enough? Which license me run God enough?
Me honestly, me don't know which license. Me can't tell you a man in what I see, man. But me can tell you, say, either D
You can't
or
be
B,
there.
man.
You can't be there.
Bro, you have coach in the Premier League at D,
Yeah,
bro.
but
But me,
Mr. Speed come from our channel and tell we say, no senior level team. When say, now go
no,
below B.
no, I think Meron got be fair still. I think Meron got
You
now. I
still a
think he
B.
might B. I think a B, man.
Yeah.
Gentleman, I probably have to go run leave when I know because my eye scratch me.
No,
Whenever
man,
my eye start scratch me.
we done there
Yeah.
now, man. Thanks for passing
Yeah.
through, bro.
Cause you know, when they make me give me eye now, so now for me I wear glasses.
Jaja youth.
Me try to talk to you. I say, yo, I know you're not give me the comparison. Yeah, which one of the keeper them are better than? Odin Clark, Lynch,
Bro, I'm better than the three of them, brother. I'm better than the three of them, bro. I'm better than the three of them, bro.
Where's the
Me I
usual
t-
go up and be number one in that team then?
Bro, right, me I tell you the truth right now. Right now as me speak. All me da need a 1 month out of training with the ball.
I say right
Me
now.
can walk right now, me can walk in any JPL team and get called for the Jamaican team.
When you hear that talk there, right, you know nothing about the three of them, Lynch, Clark and Campbell, you know where them are right now?
Last time Bamba me there at college, I'm supposed to done college, you know.
Supposed to. Supposed to.
Doctorate.
So, but you know, and that's the thing with under 15 and under 17. You know, most of these players do transition
Yeah.
to the senior team. But most of it's under 15 and under 17. Most of the time, then they really transition. Cause even out of that France team who play against an Argentina, the France team about five of them players they value over 100 get buy fee over 50 million pound. You know, Mendy,
One thing
Laporte.
the difference between our teams and those teams is that though most of them now go transition in them team senior team because how the hell them are come take Messi game or how the hell them are come take Lloris game and Lloris have played football since 1855. But one thing all them are gonna do right now is play professional. You get me?
Yeah, me check. You see the under 17 team who play against France. I check it the last. I think about 4 of them not playing football, but the rest of them, one of them Spain, one of them France, down in the division. Them they in the Premier League, them they in La Liga. But I think the problem with Jamaica, bro, and it come back down to the coaching. And JFF, once you fail, they remove you, scrap you. Like the under 17 team. We should have done much better. We should have get more value out of that team.
Yeah, man, for sure. So that's the thing over there. I tell you, Rush, say the transition to the senior team is not. I not really expect a mass transition to the senior team because senior team you can play for 15 years and not going away. You get me? I say, but you have to do in football. You get me? I say, you look on the English team. Like Balogun will probably never play for England ever in his life. Not by the way I'm going now. Still, it look like he more sit England team. But based on like Nketiah, will probably never play for England. You get me? I say. Or some of these players.
Ryan, big up in the thanks for passing through, bro. Much respect.
Yeah, man. Big up, bro. I'm gone, bro. Pass my bedtime over 30 minutes, bro. Big up on yourself, brother. Enough respect, bro.
Yeah.
Respect.
So,
Me chat too, bro. Do it.
For sure. We're gonna plan something and make it right, bro.
Alright, big up on yourself, brother. Enough respect.
Alright, bro.
So yeah, bro. The note to me leave pan is that we not expect, as I said, Tajay Grant. We not expect Grant to come and contest Andre Blake film game no time soon. You get me, I say? But these players are the best players under 17 in the whole entire country. If a 20 player was supposed to can count pan, if a 17-year-old supposed to can count pan to get professional contracts, it's supposed to be these 20 players. In the under 20 team, if a 20 player in the whole entire country, hundreds of thousands of little boys, if a 20 player was supposed to can count pan to play football at a higher level, it's supposed to be these boys. You get me, I say? And that's not happening. And that is the issue I have. Them can't go the same place to the JPL, where everybody else go, we never met under 20 team. That not add up to me.
And that's
so
where most of them are.
I not expect them for all of them for going to the national team. That will never happen. Because at the end of the day, we are going to have players who are going to keep them spot forever and ever. And that's fine. But oh God, man, when them players retire, at least you at 26, 27, you know, say, you play football in the MLS or the USL at 27 now. Your contemporary in your position just retire. And can look in for you now. But at 27, you're playing in the JPL. Now for me, at the next Manning Cup, by the next under 20 ball that me I look on for replace the player who just left. Because if you in a JPL and him in the under 20 and him playing in a JPL, I might as well go for him, we're 20 and put in a national team. You get me? I say? So from these, I not expect mass transitions into the senior team. There'll be a one or two, like Romain Blake will play for Jamaica in 2 years.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. You get me? I say? There'll be one or two. As I said, this Lynn shoot, Mary said really good. But then again, Jamaica have so many good goalkeepers. So he probably not even see the face of the national team, which is fine. But he's so good, he's supposed to play pro. You get me? I say in 2 years. So that's the issue with me have. Not necessarily with them not
he's supposed to play pro. But some of the men we call a while ago that are under 17 must at least be under 20. You must at least can make under 20 team.
Bro, no, this is the thing now. Not some of them. The vast majority of them is supposed to be in an under 20 team. The vast majority, like from under 17, it has to be at least 12 players from the under 17 team to under 20 team. Or else then what are you doing with these players? You can develop these 17 players.
That are the best.
that are the best, say in a 2 years, them are still the best.
Yeah. Or the only way it makes sense is if when you did select them at under 17, they were just not the best, and you do a poor job at selecting them.
That is the other alternative. Which one is more embarrassing? I don't even know.
But yeah, people, are we that in a studio talk was a good episode, bro. We start to go live. Say Ryan passed through. Good show, all in all, didn't it? So we're gonna leave the people there now. Don't forget though, the way to leave the stream, the way to leave the show today is to like the video, subscribe to this or that Sports TV, and leave a comment in the comment section. Do one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day, people.
Wow, Wally, we have 40 odd people there already, so we at least can get a couple more. We can get a couple 100. Share out the thing, no, man.
You match the dog, you know, the match, I must say, match while I got there.
Me skip it while ago. But cool now. Anyways, people, this is that Sports TV. Still the talk. We out.